So the dare is hold your tongue. Do not respond negatively to your spouse or to your partner, and see how this works out in your life. Hi, and welcome to iVow channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have been awesome, amazing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the questions that you keep sending to us. We truly, truly appreciate it. Man, it just shows us that, there's such a huge need for somebody who's talking about relationships out there. And I'm just glad that I've taken this. I hope many of you will jump on this bandwagon and just join in sharing, truths about love, so that we can have healthy, thriving relationships. My name is Emmanuel G. I am the founder of iVow, and I am the chief marriage coach, and I'm excited to be going through this journey with you guys. Now, last week we began with the Love Mondays, where we give you wise nuggets about love and what we can do in order to just enhance our relationships. I began with talking about different attributes or characteristics of what love is. And this was as a result of things that I have gone through in my marriage. And the time I did this was a time when I can say was a dark moment in the relationships. One of those things you wake up and you don't know if you're going to make it till tomorrow. You don't know what will happen. You don't know, if we'll be together tomorrow. But by God's grace, God, I somehow got wisdom, to choose to work on me. I remember there's a mantra that I learned in a program that we do in our church called Ndoa. And the program is called, in the program, the mantra says, work on me, pray for them. It was something totally different. So anyway, let's get right to it. Today's dare, or the characteristic or the attribute that we're going to be talking about is that love is kind. And this is the second pillar. Last week we shared that there are two pillars. There are two main pillars of what love is about. The first one is patience, which we talked about last week. Check out that video if you get a moment. But this week we're going to be talking about love is kind. And for that, I'm drawing from a portion of the Bible that in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. And it says, "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ has forgiven you." Basically, what this is saying is that this particular characteristic, of love, is love in action. As in, kindness is love in action. Patience is how love reacts to calm a situation or to ensure that there's peace, or to avoid, confrontation, or to avoid quarreling, to avoid strife within a relationship, just so that you can have, a thriving relationship. But kindness maximizes on the positive circumstances. Basically, kindness is the acts that we do to show our partner that we truly, truly love them, that we truly care about them. In fact, the wisest man in recorded in the Bible, his name was King Solomon. He says, "Do not let kindness and truth leave you. Bind them around your neck." And he says, "Write them down in the tablet of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and in the sight of man." Man, that's so powerful. You know what I've realized? The moment when I read this back then, I started changing the way I do a lot of things, and I started approaching everybody with kindness, not just my spouse, not just my wife, but I started approaching everybody with kindness. In the store, when I go to purchase something, I'll talk very kindly to the person. In the restaurant, the waiter, even when they mess my order, I'm always very kind and understanding. And let me tell you, that has gotten me so much favor, because there's some places I had no business getting the portions that I got, but man, them folk, they hooked me up. But in like manner, in my marriage, this has actually been something that has totally helped. let me tell you, it has changed so many things. She's so much warmer to me. She's so much more receptive to me. And man, you can't purchase this anywhere. You know, the tendency, again, I always say, is that we put pressure on the other person to fit a certain mold, but we don't want to do what it takes to empower them or to encourage them to be that which we desire to see in them. So basically, kindness is love in action. And today I want to challenge us this week to be kind to our partners. It might not be easy. I mean, just imagine, you know, you guys had planned to be at home spending time together, and somebody's at work. You know, it's difficult to be kind to them. It's difficult to be kind when the dishes were not washed, you know, the clothes were left all lying around. It's difficult to be kind when somebody said something that, you know, didn't make you happy. But what I'm asking you to do is to choose that, in spite of the situation that, you know, you have experienced at that moment, that you choose to be kind to one another. And in so doing, you shall find favor in their sight, and you'll be of good repute. I know many people who have said, man, it's so hard saying, you know, no to Emmanuel G. Yeah, you know, and it's because I'm kind to them, and I'm also patient with them. So it has worked for me, and that's a secret of life that I'm sharing with you guys. There are 4 basic ingredients that kindness has. The first one is gentleness. The second one is helpfulness. The third one is willingness. And the fourth one is initiative. Basically, being gentle with one another is very important. That means you're just honoring my feelings and where I'm at. Being helpful allows me to know that I have a support system, that you truly care about the things that I care about. Being willing to be there for me, to be there, you know, to do stuff, you know, it's something that will draw me closer to you and will improve even our intimacy. And taking initiative, the fourth one, taking initiative. It's very important to take initiative. You know, there's some things you don't have to wait for your wife to tell you, oh, help me wash the dishes. Get in there, wash those dishes. Girl, you don't have to, you know, wait for him to ask you to, you know, switch on the game for him so that he can watch the game. You know, just take initiative. Say, hey, you know, these guys are playing. Let's get some nachos and some chips and some dip and snacks, and let's enjoy the game together. Girl, you don't care about that game, but that man will be all over you. Man, forget that game. So take initiative and show kindness to one another. So this week's dare is, so alongside that, patience. You will now practice patience, but now you will add kindness to the mix. Now, basically, kindness is what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to do a random act of kindness for your partner. Something that will tell them that, man, this guy was really thinking of me. This person is really into me. Sometimes it doesn't have to be very expensive, but whatever it is that you do for them, make sure it's something that, you know, they will stop and like, oh my God, thank you so much. So that's the dare for this week. It is my hope that you'll get to do it. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully at the end of the week, you get a moment to review it just for yourself, reflect on how it has happened, and reflect on the changes that it's bringing to your relationship. And hopefully by the end of this journey, you guys will have amazing, thriving relationships. Again, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. My name is Emmanuel G. Please take a moment to like, take a moment to subscribe, comment, hit the notification button, and let's continue with this journey together. Look forward to seeing you next week on the iVow channel on Love Mondays.